The Eurovision 2016 semi-final allocation draw is now complete, and we know in which semis which countries will sing. Let's review it right now. In the first half of semi-final 1, we have Croatia, Finland, Moldova, Armenia, Greece, Hungary, Russia, the Netherlands, and San Marino. In the second half, we have Azerbaijan, Cyprus, Malta, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Estonia, the Czech Republic, Montenegro, Iceland, and Austria. And we should also point out that in this semifinal, Sweden, France, and Spain will be voting.
My first thought is that it's probably bye-bye San Marino. They were relying on the Turkish diaspora. They don't have Germany voting in this semi-final. They don't have Italy voting in this semi-final either, so they don't have neighbourly voting. Azerbaijan might give them something, but I don't think Serhat is a huge name, so possibly not. Then Czech Republic, it's not looking hopeful for them.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. There are a lot of really strong countries here with a history of making the final. Greece, Russia, Azerbaijan, Bosnia have 100% qualification rates, and so does Hungary since it came back in 2011. It's gonna make it tough for those borderline qualifiers like the Czech Republic to get through.
I'd like to say that I'm happy to see this draw because it's like I didn't believe until I see that Croatia, Bosnia were coming back, so I'm happy to see them back. I'm worried about Austria maybe also will struggle. That Cyprus, Malta can struggle.
Yeah, and it's interesting that regional foes Armenia and Azerbaijan have to square off against each other. We know they will not be exchanging points. And also, Greece and Cyprus have each other to rely on.
Cyprus.
It's interesting that two of the rock entries we know so far, Cyprus and Montenegro, they're both here. Porig, you might have a Nickelback convention going on.
I think Cyprus are probably going to fare better out of that because Greece are more reliable to give Cyprus points. Whereas Montenegro, their neighbours sometimes can be quite stingy and not give them the same amount of points as they would exchange with other countries in the Balkan region. Because up until 2014, Montenegro had never made a final. So if it's a battle of the rock stars, I think Cyprus would fare better.
Luis, you're in Spain. Who do you think they're going to give their love to based on historical voting patterns?
12 points. I mean, we have Moldova and Armenia, for whom we've regularly voted for the diaspora, basically. And then also Iceland, who strangely gets lots of points from us in the semifinals. But I can see a clear favorite, as we got no Portugal and no Andorra. Like I can see, and no Romania. Romania is in the second one, so I think that maybe Moldova or Armenia can get it, but I'm not 100% sure.
And Moldova, of course, will be glad to have Spain since Romania is, as you say, in the other semifinal.
Exactly.
Moving on to semifinal number 2. In the first half, we have Latvia, Belarus, Ireland, Switzerland, the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, Australia, Lithuania, Poland, Israel, and Serbia. In the second half, we have Albania, Bulgaria, Denmark, Georgia, Romania, Slovenia, Norway, Ukraine, and Belgium. Now, you guys, the obvious first point is that this is an Eastern European death match. 14 countries hail from the region. Only Australia, Belgium, Denmark, Ireland, and Norway hail from the outside, though, of course, Germany, UK, and Italy do vote in this semi. Porig, you're an Irishman. How are things looking for Nicky Byrne?
I think it's looking very promising, both from the point of view of historic voting pattern and then the Westlife fan base, because the UK, Denmark, Germany, they've always given a good lot of points towards Ireland. And then if you look at the Westlife fan base, Westlife's biggest market was the UK, so that's automatic for Ireland. They were also big in Germany, they'd hits in Switzerland, they were big in Australia. So I think all those countries could pick up and give points Nicky Byrne's way. The only disadvantage for Ireland is that Sweden isn't voting in this semi-final because they were outside of Ireland and the UK. That's where Westlife were the biggest. So that's the only thing that's negative from Ireland's point of view, but I think it's looking. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but it's looking very likely that Ireland will make it out.
Also, they have Latvia and Lithuania who sometimes vote for. Well, it's more Ireland voting for them, but yeah, they also vote for you sometimes. So it's looking pretty good for Ireland. With so many Eastern countries, I fear that, for instance, Switzerland or Macedonia or Israel even can struggle to qualify. We have like also lots of countries are like pre-qualified, like Ukraine, Romania, Serbia, but I think it's more open than the first semi-final.
Yeah, I feel like it's open, but I feel like Belarus is out. I think historically,
definitely,
they need Mother Russia points, and Russia's not in this semifinal. And also they just have a bad song, so they're really gonna struggle. And depending on the running order, if they put him towards the front of the show, he is dead.
Yeah, if he sings like the first, forget about him.
Now, what do you make of Australia? I mean, they've not been in the contest very long, so it's difficult to place them, but I suspect they're going to sail through.
You would imagine that, but this is their first ever semi-final, so we've no prior voting patterns to go by. Last year, there was the novelty factor that they were brand new. Everybody paid attention to them. They had a decent enough slot in the running order. Guy Sebastian was a well-known performer. This year, we don't know who's singing for them, so their song mightn't be as good, and people aren't going to be as inclined to be like, oh, it's Australia, they're new, let's vote for them. It's going to be a tougher year for Australia.
And I'm feeling really positive for countries like Bulgaria, a traditional borderline qualifier, or in their case, a borderline non-qualifier, because the powerhouses like Russia are not here, they could squeak through.
There's a lot of borderlines if you look at it, because Albania, Bulgaria, Georgia, Slovenia, Israel, Poland, Lithuania, Macedonia, Switzerland, Ireland, Belarus, Latvia, none of them have a consistent record of qualifying. They're all borderline. So it's going to be a very interesting semi to see who actually does make it out.
Yeah, it's a bit like last year, that in the second semi-final was like super open, while the first one was more or less like this year, it was all set before. And yeah, well, I don't think. Well, maybe Belgium can struggle there, because I don't know how the Eastern countries will react to Laura's performance. That might be. I don't know, but I had a feeling like she will have it tough to qualify. But she's on the second half, so for instance, if she closes the show, I think she can do well and qualify.
What's the pressure, Laura? There is a lot. Okay.
There's some pressure, yeah.
She's missing out on two of the countries that gave Belgium their most points last year, the Netherlands and France. Both of them are voting in semi-final 1. So she's going to struggle, I think, to pick up points.
Well, that's what we think. What do you think? How is the voting going to go down? Let us know here on wiwibloggs. And be sure to press like and subscribe while you're at it. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.